That got me. I almost spit out my pouch. Hello, welcome to Unpractical. This is Tuna. This video is about training live fire under night vision and the things one may need to know to make the process safe and easy. Upon getting into nods, training becomes a little bit more complicated. You're dealing with a bunch of the usual safety factors like muzzle discipline, trigger discipline, like I stated in our prior night vision video, and you're having to do all that while running, jumping, and stooping. Now you ask yourself, how do I make this different and fun? In the cases where some of you have access to close by BLM and state land, you can almost guarantee nobody will be around at night. That gives you a massive sandbox, literally in some areas, to make the shooting session very enjoyable. Most public federal land areas in the US and in most states, you can legally shoot at night. Only in cases where you are in city limits can they restrict that. I'd check your local laws for that, but it's almost unenforceable if they did have an issue the farther you go out there. If you're ever in doubt, just go further away from people and civilization. Once you've found your spot of choice, as you're getting into live fire under your nods, I recommend very basic stationary drills like double taps, 1R1s, and your usual daytime drills in the first 30 minutes on your first go. Last thing you need to do is rush and eat it while carrying a loaded firearm. Once accustomed to shooting stationary, you can start to implement lateral left, right, front, and rear movements until you're very comfortable. One key thing to remember is that once you start moving under nods, your field of view is so heavily reduced, you almost have to remember the terrain around you. When starting out, it's a mind trip. You feel like a baby horse trying to walk. It's quickly remedied after about 10 minutes. Now comes into the creative part of training, and that is barriers. Barriers make shooting a little harder and create obstructions to hinder you or to help you. One way is buying used plastic chemical and water barrels on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. You could get them for pretty cheap. Another barrier is creating a port board and creating wacky positions to shoot from. It's only about a big sheet of plywood and some 2x4s, and you can cut it in half and create your own design. Customized to your exact needs, and is actually very, very fun to shoot with. The last method is creating makeshift walls by making a wood frame and then buying some of that orange construction netting and just make it a standing frame. And you can, obviously see through the walls, but you can treat it like a wall. Let's move into the next part, and that is making your own targets. If you want to expand your skills, make your own targets. Freaking worth it. I would, talk to him. He knows how to make them.
Yeah, just take metal, put them together, you weld it.
Nice
Get some wood that fits in the holes there. It's maybe some up close later, but just build your own stands. Don't buy freaking expensive crap that is gonna fall apart. Just build your own. If you can't, find a buddy that can. And then cheap sticks, you can rip them out of 2x4s, or you can buy them whatever size you want, doesn't matter.
And as you can see, some targets have X's on them, so we use X's and hands. Hands means no shoot, X means shoot, so even if there's a hand and an X, shoot at the X.
Yep. I didn't make like a gun stencil, so I just did X. It's simple, quick.
It's too hard to see under nods, so you're not going to be able to see like incredible detail.
Yeah, but you can definitely tell the X between the hands under nods.
You can see that.
You'll see in the videos. But barrels, barricades. We're going to be doing some kind of shooting through ports, lasers, passive active aiming, and
around barrels, stuff like that.
It's going to be fun. Get some movement, high, low.
Now there is other non-paper options for targets, and that is steel and rubber. Steel is highly reusable, but weighs a shit ton and can be an affordable option. It is an extreme fire hazard in the warmer months and cannot be shot up close unless you want to take a forever nap. Rubber is an alternative to steel and is made for close-up and personal like paper, and it also has self-healing properties aiding into some of the decent reusability. This last section, we'll talk about dynamic movements. When I refer to dynamic movements, I'm talking about outside of those associated with a gun in your hand, movement that requires you to store your weapon or sling your weapon to perform. Example is like moving barrels, pushing walls, kicking doors, swapping weapons, stuff like that. Dynamic movement is the funnest part, in my opinion, to training under NODs because it's a test of weird functions under the stress of limited vision and in some cases a timer. It forces you not to get tunnel visioned and breaks you out of it if you are tunnel visioned. It's a great way to teach you to move your head instead of your eyes. Feel around and touch before you act.
I know, you're like contorting that bitch.
A last minute mention I wanted to go over is active and passive aiming. To spice up the fun, try to learn both methods of aiming. Active aiming means you're using a laser aiming module to point at the target. You're using and emitting a source of light to aid in a non-traditional way. What it does is it creates a faster and better point of aim for quick acquisition, like hip firing or anything like that. Passive aiming is using the optic of your weapon without any external aid like the laser and going completely dark the whole time. Most of the time, this method is used to prevent from being detected by other people with night vision. It's useful to train both ways, as sometimes you already have the benefit of darkness on your side, and emitting a light can give you away. As we've all seen, a lit cigarette can be seen for about 600 plus yards under NODs, but especially even more if you're, shooting a laser around. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. So if you can keep seeing content like this, I have some other videos in progress, and hopefully you guys can give us some feedback on that. I'll catch you guys on the next video.